My nephew's crying. I hope he's okay. I hope I didn't wake him up. My bad. Alrighty, hey guys. Hello, welcome to my channel. Let's discuss. Yep, I'm in my closet. Sorry. I'm at home and I don't have a good setup for my house yet. And I left my mic. I brought my mic, but then I didn't bring the cord to plug in my mic. So I'm using my AirPods for audio. So this is going to be a little sketchy. This is going to be a little trash, but I wanted to talk about WandaVision regardless. So yeah, hopefully this isn't a total disaster. And yeah, if you're wondering what this is my prom dress and that's my gown for high school graduation. Yep. Yes, welcome to my channel. Let's discuss, where I talk about anything entertainment related, films, TVs, award shows, maybe music, all that jazz. Yep, and today we're talking about episode 6 of WandaVision. It was the Halloween episode, guys, and this was the one where things got wild. Whoop whoop. So I'm just gonna go right into it. Spoilers for WandaVision episode 6. So if you have not watched this episode or literally any episode of WandaVision, please leave. Also, I'm sorry if you can see the reflection of me recording in my glasses. It's just the unfortunate circumstance of being blind. So there's that. So yes, episode 6, Halloween episode. I can't remember the title. I'll put it I'll go look it up and I'll put it down here, but I can't remember the title. I think this one is an homage to Malcolm in the Middle. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is. Because of the opening credit reminded me a lot of Malcolm in the Middle. And the way they had, I'm gonna mix up these kids' names. Oh God, is he Billy? Billy was narrating in a style that reminded me of Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle. So yeah, I think that's what this episode is about. And it's the Halloween episode. The kids and Wanda and Vision and Pietro, because he's here now, they're all getting ready to go trick-or-treating in the middle of the day. I went trick-or-treating at night. I don't know what that's about. Like, what's the fun in going when it's like 4 p.m.? It's light outside. I went when the sun went down. I was out. Candy. And my neighborhood sucked too, so I didn't get good candy. Dang, anyways. So yeah, the kids are getting ready for Halloween. That's just what's happening in the town today. It's Halloween. All of a sudden there are kids everywhere. Everyone's dressed up, running around in costumes, and it's trying to have a good time, except we're not having a good time because we're all stuck in a reality and Wanda is slowly losing her control. Oops. Yikes. So I'm just gonna go through my 3 big things that, I don't know what I'm doing, but 3 big things that happened this episode, in my opinion. So the first one I want to talk about are the twins. The twins were very adorable in this episode. I liked how Billy was narrating in the beginning. That was cute. And how Tommy's like, my brother is lame and I'm cool. I don't want to hang out with him. What's happening? Laptop, go to sleep. You're not supposed to be on right now. And, typical brother stuff. They were cute in this episode. But the big thing with the twins is they have powers now. Ooh. Yup. Also, their costumes for Halloween, I think they represent their comic book characters' costumes. Because which one's Wixen? I don't know. I don't know the twins in the comics that much, but I recognize their costumes are resembling the comic book costumes of their characters. And so Billy is a telepath. Yup. We see that coming at the end when Vision, who I will get to in a second, Vision penetrated the barrier, but he was going through it and Billy sensed it and was like, Mom, come out. And then Tommy is a speedster, just like Quicksilver, or Pietro. Throughout this episode, him and Pietro, or Peter, were just running around everywhere. Like, Peter kept taking him on these little speed runs, and so I guess he just learned. He just said, guess what? Me too. So yeah, Billy is a speedster. Tommy, no. Oh God, I can't remember these kids' names. Tommy's a speedster, Billy is a telepath. And that's going to come into play for the future MCU because they're supposed to be really big characters because, they're Wanda's kids and they're powerful. And I think Billy is the first openly gay superhero in the MCU. I'm not entirely sure, but he is gay in the comics. They're going to play a big role in the future MCU. So it's very cool to see their powers and see them come in. And I still want to know if they can, exist outside of Westview because we're going to get to Vision in a second, but Vision sure can't. So can these kids? I don't know. I assume so. Because, their powers are manifesting. They're not under Wanda's control at all. I assume they can exist, so that's going to play a big role in the future with the MCU, with these two twins and their new powers. I can't remember who's who in like their comic names. I can't remember, but they got powers, and so it's going to be interesting to see. And I wonder what they're going to think. Like, when they get out of this reality, are they going to be like, Mom, did you really trap a whole town in a reality? Mom, did you really do that? And they're going to have to deal with their dad, because Vision cannot survive, okay? We'll get to Vision in a second, but he cannot survive outside of this reality. But yeah, the twins, I'm excited to see them in the future. I don't know if they're going to age up, because right now they're 10, so they're like, 5 years older than Morgan. So we'll see when they become a big player in the MCU, but they are being set up to be, because, they got their powers, and I guess this means they can exist outside of the reality. I guess we're doing that, because I have so many questions about how these twins are birds, but they're here, they're living, they're thriving, they're going fast, they're reading minds, they're out here. But yeah, so those are the twins, V, adorable, and they've got powers now. Cool. And now the next big thing that I was noticing is Wanda and Pietro, or Wanda and Peter. They're very sus about each other. Very sus. Peter comes in, he's looking completely different. He plays the role of the man-child, as Billy put it, and Wanda's like trying to quiz him on some of their memories from when they were children. In the beginning of the episode, Peter brings up this memory from when they were trick-or-treating when they were kids, and Wanda was like, I don't really remember it going like that. And he was like, you probably just suppressed the trauma. I mean, she probably suppressed a lot of trauma, let's be honest. That's what this whole reality is about, is it not? But yeah, she keeps quizzing him on, like, I think this old cat that she remembers from their childhood, and he was like, you're testing me. And then she's like, why do you look different? Because he's like, I know I look different. And she's like, why do you? And he's like, I can't remember exactly what he says, but I think he just brushes it off. But, there's a moment in the middle where she's like, what happened to your accent? And he's like, what happened to yours? Why are you coming at me? Let's talk about you, Don't come for me, because I'll come for you. And then Peter's like, stop coming after me, man. Like, I'm here because of you. You're out here being suspicious of me, but I came here because of you. He says, like, I'm here to play the role of the brother that comes in unexpectedly. He causes tension with the brother-in-law, causes a little bit of mayhem with the Rugrats, and eventually causes her grief. I'm here because of you. That's what you wanted, is it not? He said, is this not what you wanted? And then he said, I was just living my life, and then I heard you calling me, and I knew you needed me, so I came, and here I am. And you want to be suspicious of me? I don't think so. So that's what this all means, is I think, because Peter throughout this whole episode seems to be very aware that Wanda created this whole reality. He even knows who she was outside of the reality, because he says this is a big step up from, causing people migraines and making them see hallucinations with their little red wispies. So he knows who she is. He knows she's in control. He knows she created this whole thing. Or at least she had a hand in it. Because he's asking her. He's like, how did you do this? And he even knows the kids. You know how there were no kids in Westview? And all of a sudden there are children? Even he's like, how did you get all these kids here? And she's like, no, it wasn't like that. And he's like, you don't have to tell me the traumatic way of how you probably kidnapped all these children. But even he notices that the kids were not here before, and all of a sudden they are. He seems very into it, like he knows who Wanda is. And he knows that this is a fake reality, and he's going along with it for Wanda. Who brought him here? How did he get here? He says Wanda was calling to him, but Wanda seems to not know who he is, or not know how the heck he got here. But maybe it's just that she was calling for the Pietro she knows, and she got this. Because, the Pietro she knows is dead, so he cannot come back. Vision is only back because she reanimated his corpse. We'll get to that. But Pietro cannot come back. He's dead. So maybe she called out for Pietro, and she just ended up bringing an alternate version of him, because that version of him was alive in the time period that she was in. I think people have mentioned that this Peter was alive in the 80s. And that in the era in which he came in, the episode era in which he came in was the 80s, so she just like plucked him. I don't know. I really need a breakdown. Maybe I should watch a breakdown video of how Peter got here, because I don't get it. I don't get how this man got here. I hope my hair is not rubbing against my AirPods. I don't know how he got here. at all. But I would like to know, because I need that explained. But yeah, Peter and Wanda are being very sus about each other. They're being very sus. And then at the end, when Vision, who I will get to just now, Vision was in trouble, and he was like, "What's the big deal, sis? It's not like your dead husband can die twice." She goes like, "Bitch, what?" Blast him, and the kids are like, wrong thing to say. But oh my god. Another thing about Peter being able to, knowing that they're in like a reality, and that a pocket reality, and Wanda is in control of everything. I think Herb knows too. We have that moment where the kids are trick-or-treating and Herb is on his little earpiece and he's hearing about the mischief that Peter and Tommy are doing, because with the speed, they're stealing everyone's candy, smashing pumpkins, whole bunch of nonsense. And Herb's hearing about it on the earpiece. And then Wanda comes up and is like, "Hey, Herb." And he's like, "Hey, Wanda." And then she starts, they start talking. And then she brings a Vision. And Herb's like, because right at the moment, Wanda's under the impression that Vision is on the neighborhood watch. But he's not. We will get to Vision. He's doing his own thing. But, and Herb's like, "Vision's not with us." And she's like, "What do you mean? That's what he told me." And he's like, I don't know what to tell you, girl. He ain't here." And so there's this moment where Wanda's looking very, like, confused and upset. And Herb's like, "Are you okay, Wanda? Do you need me to fix anything? Do you need me to change anything? Do you need anything to change?" Because Herb's aware. Herb knows. Yeah, I wonder how many other people know. Things are happening. Wanda's losing her control. It ain't looking too good. And now we will get to the moment that I've been talking about for 30,000 years, which is Vision. Kept name dropping him all throughout this, and I haven't gotten to it. But now we are going to talk about Vision. So if you remember last episode, Vision was like, "Wanda, stop lying to me right here, right now. I know you're lying to me. Don't try it. I know you can't lie to me anymore. You can't control me like you do with them. You just can't." So in the beginning of the episode, Vision comes down in his costume, his comic book accurate costume. And he tells Wanda that he's going to go off and hang with the neighborhood watch. And Wanda's like, "That wasn't a part of the deal. At first she tries to say, that's not what you're supposed to do. But she stops midway and says, that's not what you told me. I changed my plans." And she says, "Why didn't you say anything?" She said, "You're supposed to be with us and the kids. This is a big night for them. Even though Halloween comes around every freaking year. But I guess not here because this is a pocket reality." And then Peter comes in and he's like, "Don't worry. I got it. I can be the little father figure for them," while Vision goes out and does whatever. So then Vision leaves. Vision leaves to go with the neighborhood watch. That's not at all what he's doing. He's going to go snoop because he said, "I know this is wrong. I know." There was even that moment where in the beginning of the episode where, he comes down in his costume and Wanda's like, "Thank you for doing this for me." And he's like, "Well, there were no other clothes in my closet." Oh my god, I'm in my closet. Anyways, he said there were no other clothes in my closet. What else was I going to do? You wanted me to do this, did you not? But then he walks it back and acts like he was joking, even though he was not joking. He was like, "There were no other clothes in my closet. I know you're doing this." So Vision's been very sus lately, and he said, "I'm going to get to the bottom of it. It's time to get my Nancy Drew on, and we're going to go investigate. We're going to go investigate." And so he ventures out into the far areas of the town, and he finds, in the middle, where Wanda and the kids are, life is popping. Everyone's having a good time. No thoughts, just vibes. Everyone's getting some candy, having fun. They're at a little hayride thing, little carnival in the center. I don't know what that was, but they're all having a good time. But then Vision sees that as you go farther out into the city, everything's frozen. Everyone is at a standstill. No one's moving. They're all just frozen in place. They're all still sticking with the Halloween theme, but they're frozen and they're not moving. And Vision's like, on his way there, he saw this one lady that was like trying to hang up a ghost on a line, but she kept doing it over and over again. And she started crying because, she's stuck and she's upset about it, and rightfully so. So yeah, he sees everyone stuck. He tries to go talk to this woman and be like, "Are those your kids?" And she obviously not answering because, they're all frozen. And then he flies up and he even sees it from a bird's eye view. He sees how in the middle of the town, everything's popping. There are lights everywhere. People are living. People are vibing. Halloween, it's in full swing. But then the outer areas are dark and nothing's going on because all the people are frozen. And so then he sees this car stopped at a stop sign. and he goes down, and he sees that in the car is Agnes. And Agnes is frozen too because she's in the outer parts. And so he goes and he tries to talk to Agnes to try and get a sense of what's going on. But she's talking about, like, she's trying to find the town square where everyone else is. And he's like, it's in the town square, is it not? And she's like, oh, I took a wrong turn. Must have gotten lost. And he's like, in a town that you grew up in? And then she's like, And so he reaches in and Charles Xavier's her awake. And she's like, you're Vision. You're with the Avengers. And he's like, who's that? And she's like, oh my God, why don't you know who the Avengers are? And then she goes like, she starts touching herself and she's like, am I dead? And Vision's like, no, you're not dead. Why would you think that? And she's like, because you are. And Vision's like, I'm what? And she said, you're dead. You're dead, dead. And she kept saying it over and over again. And Vision's like freaking out. And then Vision's like, Agnes, please. I'm going to go to the border and I'm going to try and make sense of our situation. She's like, how? No one leaves. Wanda won't even let us think about it. Wanda won't even let us think about it. Jesus. And then, she starts laughing. She says, there's no hope. And then she starts laughing and cackling like a witch. By the way, she's dressed as a witch. Maybe she is Agatha Harkness. Ooh, plot twist. Not really. Everyone's not that guy. And so Vision, Charles Xavier's backed her to sleep because she's no longer being helpful. Tragic. And then he goes to the border. I haven't described what's going on in Real Westview. In Real Westview, things are happening. In Real Westview, Monica and co got fired by Idiot Sword Agent number 1. What can we do? And we find out that they've been tracking Vision. Idiot Sword Agent has been tracking Vision. How? Because he's been tracking the decaying signals of vibranium. It's really Vision's corpse. Confirmed. Wanda has reanimated Vision's corpse. How creepy. Gross? Weird? It's many things all at once. But yeah, Vision's corpse, it's not really his corpse walking around because we'll see when he goes through the barrier what's really, but it is, she like reanimated his corpse or warped it to fit the reality. As things, when they go into the reality, you see them warp and become something different. So maybe she just warped his body to become really, or she basically reanimated it. And so they've been tracking his decaying signals of vibranium, and that's how they end up seeing that he's going towards the barrier. And they all go to the barrier, and then he gets through, and he reaches the sword agents who are on the other side. And so he's trying to warn them. He tells them, the people need help. But as he's warning them, he's breaking apart. His body is breaking into pieces and it's getting sucked back into reality. And then he's essentially dying. Because what this means is Vision cannot live outside the reality. He can't. If he steps outside, he'll start to break apart and die. He can't live outside the reality. He just can't. We were all wondering if this meant Vision is really alive, but what this means is that Vision is not alive. So by the end of the show, if the reality is destroyed, that means Vision will have to go with it, which is very upsetting because I like Paul Bettany and he's been the best part of this show so far for me. And when he was dying, I was like, y'all better not kill Paul Bettany. Not right now. Not in front of my salad like this. No. I don't want Paul Bettany to die. But he's not going to be able to. But at the end of this show, he might die. Because he cannot live outside this reality. And this reality clearly cannot continue. It cannot continue. So Wanda and the twins are going to have to say goodbye to Vision at one point. And I wonder how the twins are going to react. The twins might be upset, very upset at Wanda. Understandably so. They're like, you brought our dad back, but now he's dying. What the heck, Mom? So back to, you know how I said Billy's a telepath and he was sensing Vision when he was in trouble? This is the sensing. He was sensing Vision dying because he couldn't survive outside the border. And so he runs and tells Wanda about it. And Wanda's like freaking out. She's like, Billy, I need you to focus. Where's your dad? And this is when, she like blasts Pietro because Pietro's like, what's the matter, sis? It's not like your dead husband can die again. Wrong thing to say. And then she like blasts him with her powers. Knocks him out. And so then she turns back to Billy and she's like, Billy, I need you to focus. Where's your dad? So yeah, Billy tells her about the soldiers. He tells her about how Vision's dying because he's outside the border. And then Wanda, she uses her powers and she freezes everything. She freezes everyone in Westview. I don't know if she frees the children. We didn't get to see them. She probably didn't because they're not under her control. But yeah, she froze the town. And then you see her close her eyes and you see her use her powers. And then boom, there's like this burst of red. And what she's doing is she's expanding fake Westview. She's making it bigger so that the border will go over Vision and pull him back in. So we start seeing the barrier get bigger and bigger, and all the sword agents are like freaking out because, you know, they're right there. So they start running, they start gunning it. She expands the barrier, and it now includes Vision. So Vision's back to being good. He's back in fake Westview, and he's alive again. But he's gonna remember this. He's gonna remember how he was dying outside. He's gonna remember Agnes telling him that he's dead. Vision's not gonna be a happy camper when he wakes up. He's just not. But what this also means is that now fake Westview is bigger. And when she expands the border to save Vision, she ends up catching in a bunch of sword agents. And Darcy. So now Darcy and a bunch of these sword agents are now stuck in fake Westview because of how she expanded the border. And now that's going to cause real problems with Sword, who was already mad at her, especially Idiot Sword Agent number 1. He's just going to go do something stupid again. What can I do? What can we do at this point? Because now she's including all these sword agents, so now it's become a bigger issue. It's become a bigger issue. At first she was just holding a bunch of townspeople captive. Now she's holding government agents captive. So this is going to be an issue. It's going to be a very big problem going forward. Yikes, Wanda, what are you doing? You're going to have Vision and Sword on your ass, and your kids are going to be running all over the place. A lot happened in this episode. I really do think the biggest things are the twins, their power, the twins and their powers. Vision is going to be mad as hell when he wakes up. He's going to be mad as hell. He's going to be like, Wanda, what the frick? What do you mean I'm dead? I'm dead? Are you serious? He's going to be mad as heck. He's going to be mad as heck. He was already mad. Imagine how mad he's going to find out when Wanda brought him back to life against his will and just trapped him in a reality with everyone else, and he can't even exist outside of it. Gave him kids, and he won't even live to see those kids grow up. Imagine how mad he'll be. Pissed. And then I wonder how Peter's going to feel about Wanda completely blasting him to the side. He'll probably be mad about that too. A lot of people are going to be mad at Wanda. Sword's going to be mad. Vision's going to be mad. Maybe Peter will be mad. The kids will probably be a little bit like, what's going on? But yeah, a lot's happening. Everything's going to hell, basically. Everything is going to hell, essentially, in fake Westview. It's all going to shit. So yeah, episode 6 of WandaVision, the Halloween episode. I very much enjoyed it, which is no surprise. These episodes have been banger after banger hits. Who would have thought? Not me. But yeah, it's another great episode. They keep upping the ante and upping the stakes in every episode, because it's so easy for shows to fall into this whole pacing issue where the first couple of episodes are boring as heck and then it's a rush to the finish line. But no, WandaVision is taking its time with each episode to get better and better and better. It's so rare to see. Every episode is just raising the bar. The bar is in heaven. The bar is in the atmosphere. The bar is in the edge of the universe. That's where the bar is with WandaVision. Oh my god. Every episode just builds on the last. And it gets better and better and better. How many TV shows do you see that do that? How many? Not many. They don't know how to do it like WandaVision. No one does it. They want what WandaVision has, but they don't do the work. And it's tragic. Say tragique. It's so good. Oh, I love watching week to week. It just keeps getting better. I'm just excited every day because it's just so good. Love it. What are we on? 6? We have 7, 8, 9 left. That's sad because that means it's ending. But it means we're getting into the crazy stuff. Oh my god. WandaVision's great. Everyone should watch. It should be studied. By the RTF department at my school, they should study it. Gosh. But yeah, episode 6, WandaVision. Great episode. Loved it. A lot of stuff happening. Everything's going to hell. I hope Wanda's okay. Can't wait for episode 7. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time. No one's really gonna be vibing though. It's just gonna be a bunch of anger. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that the setup is trash because I'm in my closet and I'm using my AirPods as a mic. Whole mess, but hopefully we'll better soon. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment on what you thought about episode 6, and I'll see you later.